I'm Sophia Padbury, and I'm here at Carver Gymnasium at Western Washington University. Below me, you'll see the women's basketball team playing for their 22nd home court victory this season. In addition to their exciting record, the team had another reason to celebrate. Coach Carmen Dolfo won the 412th game of her career, breaking Western's record for all-time coaching victories. The record was set by former women's basketball coach and current athletic director Linda Goodrich. So I spoke with Dolfo and Goodrich to learn more about their coaching secrets. Carmen Dolfo has been head coach of the women's basketball team since 1990, but basketball has always been a big part of her life. Before becoming head coach, Dolfo played basketball at Western for 2 seasons and was an assistant coach under Linda Goodrich for 4. So what was it that first got you interested in basketball?
Well, I grew up with basketball. Both my parents were coaches. My brother and sister played. So we started going to games when we were just little kids. So I think that kind of got the spark going.
As a coach, what do you think your biggest responsibility is to your players to motivate them?
I think the responsibility as a coach is to try to motivate players to work hard, to be their best, to be able to reach their potential, and hold them to a high standard that you would want for everybody on your team. Sometimes as a coach, you like to just be able to go out there and do it yourself, and you realize that you can't do that, so you have to learn how to motivate other people to do it. And that's part of our job, is really to point out the roles to the players, and then they have to learn to accept that. In practice, you spend a lot of time teaching and refining the things that you're doing, and you're constantly giving feedback to the players. Once they hit the court in a game, I think you want them to be able to kind of take it and carry it and not feel like they have to hear so much feedback.
Is there anyone you've looked up to as a role model, as an athlete, or as a coach?
Linda Goodrich, who was my coach, and I worked under as an assistant, and now as my athletic director, has had an amazing influence on my life. She's always been very supportive of me in all the different roles that I've had here. It's never been a competition. It's always been, what can I do for you? And so, no, it's been a great relationship, and I really feel fortunate to have her in my life.
Linda Goodrich was the head women's basketball coach for 19 years. During that time, she stepped up to coach many other women's sports. How did coaching tennis, volleyball, and track affect the way you coached basketball?
You forgot about golf.
Oh, and golf.
That's right. Well, I think I coached those sports primarily because at the time it was really difficult to find coaches for women's sports. But coaching is coaching. You still have to communicate and relate, organize practices regardless of the sport or the skill.
How did you feel after setting the record for coaches' victories at Western?
I think when you're coaching, you don't really think of you're getting this win or that win. It's just part of the season. You want to win every game, and you're just thinking of the next game. Carmen broke the record, and I set the record. It's pretty amazing, for a real testament to the program that both of us have over 400 wins.
And how would you describe your relationship with Carmen Dolfo?
Well, now she tells me what to do. Yeah. No, we're good friends, and I try to stay out of her way. She knows far more than I do, and she's one of those very smart players, and she's a very good teacher. Her skills just really blossomed, and you could tell that she was going to be a great head coach, and she is. One of Carmen's great attributes is that all the young women in her program, I'm always really impressed. They graduate, they go on, they do great things. They're very loyal to the program, and that speaks volumes.
For some of the players, the most appealing part of the basketball program is Dolfo herself. Megan Pinsky transferred from the University of British Columbia to play for her.
I think Carmen and I have a really good relationship. Every game, every practice, she's pushing you to be a better person and a better player. We check in with her throughout the game, but yeah, she really lets the guards and the point guards call the plays. During practice and during games, she's just as intense, and I think that's what makes her such a unique and special coach. We can be doing some drill and practice, and she can still demand that excellence as she does in a game. I think the biggest thing she's taught me is that in any situation, you can always look inward instead of kind of placing blame on others or finding other things. It's being responsible and owning up to what you can change.
It turns out there's no supernatural reason behind Goodrich and Dolfo's success. They are just 2 hardworking coaches who excel at motivating and encouraging their players to be their very best. I'm Sophia Padbury from Western Washington University.